and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Brigadier General Khurshid Agharjan, and esteemed accompanying delegation from the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces of the Republic of Turkey, Excellencies, representative of the diplomatic missions, respectful military attaches, representative of the parties and members of the media, welcome to the 43rd anniversary of the Army Day of Islamic Republic of Iran. At the outset, I would like to congratulate you on the blessed month of Ramadan and take this spiritual opportunity to wish you and all the peoples of the world good health, peace, and tranquility. Over the past 2 years, humanity fought hard against the corona pandemic. Unfortunately, many of our dear members of the human society have passed away. Let us ask for their souls mercy and peace. In the meantime, we know that the overcoming this crisis that has destroyed human life and was not possible without cooperation, sympathy, and solidarity on the basis of human values. The coronavirus has taught us that the fate of human beings is linked to one another, regardless of racial, religious, ethnic differences. As the famous Persian poet Sa'di Shirazi says, human beings are members of the whole in creation of essence and soul. If one member afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. Just as double standards and racial and religious discrimination have not been allowed in the fight against the coronavirus, in the fight against the other viruses such as insecurity, war, terrorism, aggression, and occupation, we must put double standards aside in order to increase the hope for sustainable peace. In the holy month of Ramadan, Muslim hearts turn to their first Qibla, Masjid al-Aqsa. It is unfortunate that the past 7 decades, the violation of all kinds of human rights in Palestine implemented by the Zionist regime, and we did not witness an effective condemnation of the human rights violation and solidarity with the Palestinian refugees and displaced people. Unfortunately, in the past few days, another tragedy occurred in the Al-Aqsa al-Sharif by the occupation forces, and the lives and property of the Palestinian people and the sanctities of all Muslims were violated. And once again, we witnessed the inaction of the international community and intentional disregard. Despite this distinction of the silence of the big powers, it will be an established fact that Quds al-Sharif is the first Qibla of Muslims, and Palestine issue is the first issue of the Muslims. And that root of many turmoils and instabilities in the region is the oppression of Palestine. We must all condemn these attacks loudly for the sake of establishing peace and stability in the region. 70 years passed, the international community has yet to offer an effective solution for the people who have been uprooted from their homes. Countries that are addicted to imposing sanctions against their opponents and other countries have not even imposed a single case of sanctions on Israel. Another point I would like to raise on this occasion is the importance of inherent and local security and its role in preventing conflicts. In this context, it is worth noting that Israel and the United States have threatened several times to use the military option against Iran, and this is in turn would have plunged the region into another long war if they were able and if they dare to fulfill their threat. Today, if they do not talk about the military option anymore, it is because of the independent and local defense strength of Iran and the self-sufficiency of the Iranian armed forces. The experience of recent decades shows that outsourcing security and defense can lead to disasters. No one in the region trusts anymore loyalty of the foreign forces coming from overseas. I once again reiterate my thanks and respect to all of you and wish you good health and success. Hayırlı Ramazanlar, hepiniz hoş geldiniz, sefa getirdiniz.
Bulmaktan duyduğum memnuniyeti belirtiyor. Şahsı ve bakanlığımız adına İran İslam Cumhuriyeti'nin Silahlı Kuvvetler Günü'nü en içten dileklerimle kutluyorum. Türkiye, bölgenin önemli ülkelerinden biri olan komşusu, dost ve kardeş İran ile ilişkilerine büyük önem atfetmektedir. Yüzyıllardır aynı coğrafyada yaşayan halklarımız, ortak tarih, güçlü kültürel bağlarımız İran ile ilişkilerimizin temelini oluşturmaktadır. İran, yaklaşık 400 yıldır değişmeyen bir sınırı paylaştığımız kadim bir komşumuzdur. Giderek küreselleşen dünyada bir ülkede yaşanan olumsuz durumlar tüm dünya ülkelerini ve özellikle de komşularını çok çabuk etkilemektedir. Bu durum bölge ülkelerinin, özellikle de komşu ülkelerin bölgenin istikrarı ve güvenliği için birlikte hareket etmesini zorunlu kılmaktadır. Bölgenin iki büyük devleti olarak diyalogumuzu her daim sürdürmenin uygun olacağını değerlendiriyorum. Bir kez daha İran İslam Cumhuriyeti'nin Silahlı Kuvvetler Günü'nü kutluyor. Burada bulunmaktan duyduğum memnuniyeti ifade etmek istiyorum. Teşekkür ederim.
It's a great pleasure for all of us on the 43rd anniversary of the foundation of the Islamic Republic of Iran's army to meet all of you here. Distinguished guests, prominent authorities, high-ranking military officials from friendly Turkey, as well as respectable military attaché and defense attaché from friend countries. I would like to express my appreciation to Brigadier General Rashid Ayerjan from Turkish Ministry of Defense, distinguished general and officer from Turkish Army. The Islamic Republic of Iran is one of the great human developments in the world that took place in the last decades of the 20th century and has left very wide effects in Iran and the world. Given the anti-arrogance nature of Islamic revolution, immediately after the victory of Great Revolution, foreign enemies began against the structure supporting the revolution, especially Iran army. They changed the slogan of dissolving the army and announced Iran doesn't need the army. The widespread attacks on army caused the late founder of Islamic Republic of Iran in a historic victory called 18th April as the Day of Iranian Army. The Army of Islamic Republic of Iran in various fields, such as fighting against terrorist groups, presence in the Holy Defense, carrying out hundreds of humanitarian operations in natural disaster, and promoting the defense power played a prominent role and has been successful. Today, the Islamic Republic of Iran's army is one of the main factors providing security in the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman, and the northern of India. In recent years, and in order to confront the Islamic Republic of Iran, the United States has adopted a strategy of maximum pressure against Iran. But with the active resistance, Iranian great nation and readiness and power of all armed forces, this strategy has doomed to failure. Turkey and Iran are two important countries in the region, where many personalities have been assassinated in the last 40 years. Therefore, they have a comprehensive cooperation in the fight against terrorist organizations. Turkish and Iranian officials have always considered security as a regional and general concept, emphasizing that countries in the region must be able to build security on their own without relying on foreign powers. The Army of Islamic Republic of Iran is ready to cooperate with all armies of the countries that committed to the security and peace in order to ensure security in the region and move to establish security worldwide. I wish all you good health and increasing success and blessing of God be upon you all. At the end, let me appreciate your valued presence in the commemoration reception, the Army Day of Islamic Republic of Iran. Thank you.
From you. Wish you good luck.
Inshallah, I will see you tomorrow.
Okay.
With exercise.
Inshallah. Okay.
İcazet.